Hello everyone and welcome back to a new episode in the Hardcore series. I am very excited to continue our goals from last time, namely gathering more leather, gathering more sugarcane, and making sure that we have a little starter base so we don't have to sleep outside on the cliff anymore at night. That would be pretty nice. I mean, the view here is lovely, but I'm sure it's even better from a window. So how about we go and collect some materials so we can get started on all of these goals? Alright, so first things first, we have to collect some materials. I start out by clearing the area around the cows, because I feel like we should have a bit more space for the cow pen. It's gonna be a very simple cow pen. I don't really have a design in mind, so guys, please don't mind how random it looks. I just kind of wanted to get it done. Quickly breed up some cows so we can have enough leather for the enchanting table. But yeah, this should be done in a jiffy. Alright, so first things first, we're gonna need to craft some fences, because as we've been underground quite a lot, I haven't really created many wooden blocks we can use for this cow pen. But let's get started on that. So first we'll get our crafting table out and get ready to build. Alright, so first things first, I had in mind that it would be nice to have a little dock, as I have been boating from here quite a lot, and this little lake I think deserves a simple little dock where I can just quickly park my boat and just bring back and forth the cows and, I don't know, maybe fish off of it if we need some more food. Although with the cows I feel like it'll be less of a problem since we'll be getting some steaks. So I built a simple little dock here. A design most of you have probably seen many times. Nothing special, but it does the job well. Quite a few misplaces here, but you know, everyone does that every once in a while. But wow, that's not really going well. If any of you find this misplacing kind of relatable, please let me know in the comments so I'm not alone. Okay, well, at least the view from the dock is truly awesome. I'm very happy to have settled here. It's so close to my spawn chunks as well, which is gonna be great for building a bunch of automatic mob farms and just regular crop farms. Here you can see me starting to fill in the cow pen, trying to kind of get a simple shape going. For some reason I thought it would be a good idea to just like follow the bay and connect it to trees and stuff, but there wasn't really an idea behind this. It was more kind of random, but I think it looks fine for now, until I build them maybe like a stables or like a barn. Love to hear you guys' thoughts on that as well, so leave in the comments if you have a good idea for what we should do with the cows, and yeah, I'll let the gameplay speak for itself now. Alright, time to lure the cow in with a piece of wheat now. This is so much easier since they added the offhand feature. Before then it would be so awkward using the piece of wheat and the fence at the same time, and the cow would be disinterested in the wheat constantly. Oh, I don't know if any of you guys remember that, but it was very annoying. Now the cow pen's almost secure. So it's almost time to go get the second one. But just before we go, we first have to plant a little farm, because I realized wheat doesn't just like spawn in unless you're near a village, so we kind of need this wheat to be growing whilst we're on our little trip, because by the time we get back we'll need some wheat. Luckily, I had defeated plenty of skeletons. If you saw last episode's combat montage, then you know I definitely defeated quite a few. Now I have more pieces of wheat, so we can start the breeding process. And yeah, time for our beautiful commute over the lake, which is still absolutely gorgeous. I love the salmon just swimming there and the little island. Oh, it's so great. I was very happy to see that my cow was still loyally sitting in the boat, waiting for me to come pick him up. And that's exactly what we're gonna do now. Alright, I'm so excited to move this cow because we'll finally have a sustainable source of leather. It seemed like there wasn't that many sources of leather nearby where we spawned, so I was very happy to encounter these 2 cows because now we can turn them into infinite cows. Oh yeah. Which is really exciting, but it'll take a little while. But not to worry, we'll be sticking around this area for most of the episode to farm materials for our starter base and to build the starter base. Now that we got the cows in their pens, we can finally start getting a nice sustainable source of leather. But as I was closing up the gate, I realized, hang on, we don't have a sustainable source of sugarcane yet. So I'm gonna have to be farming that up next. I'll be placing it randomly around the coastline. It's not gonna be a permanent farm, but hey, it's the early game. We don't really have established farms for anything yet, but it's a nice start. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so I got a little distracted when I saw all of the spruce wood in my chest and the spruce saplings. I got an idea to build a spruce log frame already. Don't judge, the sugarcane farm is coming, but for now I'm quickly building up a little water tree farm. As you may know, big taiga trees, they cause potsol to form under the tree. I don't really want that because then I would have to dig up the soil and correct the potsol back to grass by replacing the dirt. Don't really feel like doing that every time I plant a tree or farm some trees, so making this water-based farm instead. Kind of have to hurry up though, it's getting close to nighttime, so let's get this over with quick. So as you can see, for now we've settled in the valley near the mountains and the beautiful lake. However, as we put up the frame, a creeper decided that they wanted to live there too. It's not gonna happen. This creeper has an explosive attitude, so yeah, I don't think we'll allow him to stay. Alright, so let's now work on gathering materials, expanding our farms, making sure the leather production keeps running, and hopefully eventually we'll reach that level 30 enchanting table and we'll be able to progress in our gear. Alright, so let's farm up a little bit of wood. Okay. I don't know if you guys knew this, but if you use a hoe you can very quickly break leaves, which is essential when farming these types of trees because sometimes they have leaves all the way to the bottom, multiple layers worth, and it's kind of a shame to waste your axe's durability on this. Alright, now finally the moment you've all been waiting for, hopefully. Going back to that one spot, I spotted some sugarcane in the last episode. I don't know if any of you recall, but there was like 1 or 2 blocks of sugarcane on some far off coast. It should be in view quite soon. I'm going there straight to it, just admiring the landscape here a little bit, but yeah. As you can see there's a little bit of sugarcane. Any amount is of course enough to infinitely start a farm, so that's what I'm gonna do next. Yes, there we go, sugarcane obtained. Awesome. I'm gonna have a bit of a look around here because I see it's an old growth taiga biome, which means there's lots of big trees to cut down. So I'm gonna be doing that for a little bit. By the way, it looks like a gorgeous forest. Maybe a place to build a little cabin sometime. Alright, so we collected a bunch of wood as you saw in that flash, and Before running back, I see on the right a azalea tree right in the middle of the sand. That can be interesting to collect azalea leaves and also lush cave materials like moss and glowberries for our builds. So I was really excited to see that so close by. Ah, home sweet home, we made it back safe. I had stripped the logs off the frame already in preparations for the rest of the build because I'm going to be using some strip logs. I really like the look of strip logs for certain builds. It's definitely preferred over regular logs for me unless I'm building something very rustic. And boom! With those two sugarcane, our sugarcane farm is starting up. We already have 4 cows right now. Now 5, 2 babies, 3 adults. So that's going well as well. And we're just gonna keep on progressing, guys. Let's do this. Alright, it's coming along nicely. I'm just building a little door here. As you can see, I've kind of gone for a rustic and very sturdy looking build, as I kind of like those a lot myself. Sorry for this footage. Getting that trapdoor up there was apparently very difficult. I'm gonna make a little door design. I was thinking of maybe using stone. I think it turns out pretty well, but we still have a lot of building to do. As you saw by the montage, quite a bit is done already, but I was planning on making some roofs, of course, and yeah, we have enough materials to keep going for a while. So I'm gonna speed it up again, and I'll see you guys after the montage. Here you can see me make little adjustments to the roof. That is because I keep looking for proportion, making sure the roof fits well. Those sort of things are very important when building. Always keep your proportions in mind. The roof shouldn't be way larger than the base. You can easily do this by making a frame like this, and if it's a little too low for your liking, don't feel bad about deconstructing it and reconstructing it, because it'll save you a bigger headache than if the build comes out disproportional. Alright, so I kind of ran out of wood anyway. Also, I want to keep up with the cows, of course, so I quickly do little farming duties and, yeah, cut down a bunch of trees. I find these larger trees to be the easiest for farming a lot of spruce wood, which is usually the primary wood I use to build because, well, I just like spruce wood. I don't know, it has this like warm, cozy glow to it, but it's not so dark that it feels a little grim like dark oak does, although dark oak of course has its own uses when building something a bit more grim or dark. I do like using it. If you're wondering why I'm breaking open the roof again, it's because I realized I didn't really like this awkward little corner in the back, so I had this idea of maybe I can place a little tower here instead, and oh boy was it a good decision because you guys are going to love what this is going to look like. Now, on purpose, I made the tower quite a bit small maybe in the inside. It's enough to fit a stairwell, but the reason I did this is to create some depth inside of the tower, so I still had the opportunity to create some fun little decorations on there. And as you can see here, I'm decorating the top a little bit. That's a bit of a rough camera work, but you guys stick with me here. It stays alright for the rest of it, okay? Just trust me. Honestly, looking back on the footage, I forgot how scarily high I usually was. Like, I could have definitely fallen to my death whilst building this. Don't forget guys, this is all in hardcore. I don't even have any scaffolding or anything. I usually traverse the house from the inside, that's why you see me popping up randomly out of nowhere. Like some kind of little mole man. Okay, but yeah, let's get this side decoration done, and after that we're going back to some less sped up footage to see what other adventures I got up to. Alright, after tending to the farms, I'm ready to head out and collect some azalea leaves. Remember from that azalea tree off into the distance across the lake? Azalea trees are gonna be awesome because they have such nice green leaves. And I think they will be perfect for the little spruce aesthetic we've got going on, add some color to the build. And of course those flowers look amazing when they're blooming. Oh, and these cliffs look amazing too. I'm so excited about exploring this world even further, honestly. Like, once we get the elytra and stuff, it's gonna be so awesome. Alright, we have the azalea tree inside. Let's lock in and go collect some leaves. Hopefully we can also get some azalea saplings so we can regrow the trees and collect many more leaves. I did bring my trusty shears along so I can collect most of the leaf blocks, but I also have my hoe with me, I believe, and then I can quickly convert it to saplings when I need them. Luckily shears are very inexpensive, so yeah, we pluck this entire tree and remove it completely. Oh gosh, at least we have a ton of leaves now, so let's see what we can do with them. Alright, before we can get to it, we have to deal with this little guy. Luckily the sun is aiding us. Thank you, sun. Alright, first we have to store away some stuff, make sure our inventory has all the proper stuff. And yeah, okay, we can get right to it. Okay, let's see how this looks. Remove the dirt, remove those trap doors. Okay. Nice flowery. I still think it looks a little bit off. Let's try something else. Alright, how about 3 flowers? No, I don't think so. Let's try something very different. How about we fill the logs back in? Yes. Okay, and how about we create some vines? Okay, no. That doesn't work either. Maybe some really big vines, like wrapping around the building. Let's see it. Okay. Okay, yeah, that definitely needs to be extended up more. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's going somewhere. Okay. Let's keep on doing this and see what we can make of it. But if we're going to expand the amount of leaves we need, we definitely need some saplings, and luckily we get one. Oh gosh. Oh, that was the last we had. Okay. Yes, let's get more saplings. Okay, great. Okay, we can get a bunch now. Because if we don't have a lot of these leaves, I don't think these vines are gonna look very good, guys. I'm not gonna be... yeah. Okay, great. Yes. Got every last bit. The tree is completely gone. We just have this rooted dirt we have to deal with, but that's for a later date. Let's just plant a few more of these trees first. And I'll get back to you guys when we start creating some leaves around the build. In a little montage. Alright, first things first though, we need to create some nice stairs. The other stairs were doing it whilst I was building the base, but let's be real, we gotta get a nice staircase in there with just like a spiral staircase. They're honestly so space efficient, only requiring a 3x3 area, so it fits perfectly into the tower as well, so I thought, perfect, let's do that one. Alright, so heading back over to the farms. As you can see, we have a ton of cows, ton of sugarcane, so that's coming along nicely. Just collecting a bit more wood here because I was running low already. This base costed a lot of logs, as you can see in the roofing, frames and everything, decoration. So yeah, with the iron axe it's not very quick. Of course, making sure to always sleep at night. You don't want the creepers creeping up on you when you're cutting down these trees. And yeah, after we collect this wood, let's go back to building the base. Alright, so while this continues playing, I'd like to hear from you guys what buildings we should make next. If we should expand this base, or maybe we should build elsewhere, or like what do we start making? How do we start this decaying kingdom? Because the base of operations is very important, of course, but yeah, soon we'll start making our vanity builds, and I would really like some input from you guys. So if you have some cool ideas, don't be afraid to hit me up in the comments section. I love reading you guys' comments, so let me know what you think, and I'll gladly read it and consider it. Okay, now the good part, adding all of these beautiful azalea vines. I tried to make it look as organic as I can, also going around and detailing the final walls that haven't been detailed yet, mostly the second floor walls here. Yeah, so quickly making sure that they look good before moving on to making even more vines. Alright, now this area seriously needs a makeover. Look at this. Oof. Okay. Luckily, I already have a design ready to go. I'm just kind of using the design we also have on the sides, but making it slightly different up top by adding this nice sturdy looking frame that's kind of upholding the roof. I really like that. I like it when my builds look sturdy, like they could be built in real life without like collapsing instantly. I don't know if any of you guys also build like that, but I find it the most satisfying way to build structures in Minecraft. Alright, so I'm building these closed looking windows in the towers, and let me know if you guys think this is a cool detail, but I thought it looked nice. It kind of looks like a window almost, but it's closed. Maybe because it's cold up here in the valley, although the water level is pretty close, but it just looks pretty arid around, but in like a cold way, you know, like it's stone, a lot of stone cliffs and such. I don't know what kind of climate this would be. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Alright, let's add some more of these nice vines in the back. Oh yeah, we gotta build up a bit with stairs. A little bit cursed, but hey, it gets the job done. Looks nice. Going over to the other side, adding a few over there. Yeah, this is looking really good, guys. Oh yes. Okay. I love adding a few organic elements to the build. It always looks so nice. Here's a little free cam flyover to show you guys what it looks like right now. And I could not be more proud of our starter base, guys. This is gonna be an awesome world. The next day I got right back to farming leather and sugarcane so we can get that enchanting table. I have to say, we're fairly close. A lot of the footage I left out, or maybe you saw me in the montage going back and forth. It's just not that interesting seeing me farm up a bunch of wheat and breeding a bunch of cows and collecting a bunch of sugarcane. But I can tell you guys, we're really close, so I'm very excited. I mean, look how many cows there are. There's so many of them. Like I said, infinite cows. Alright, so a house is nothing without a little bit of decor, so I thought I'd build a little garden. Something with a pond. I love building little ponds. I've tried to make the fences disconnected, but not too weird looking. It's a pretty difficult balance, I'm not gonna lie, but I think it worked alright here. You want to easily, of course, enter your pond and leave. But you also want to give the illusion that it's a little bit barriered off from the rest of the world. Alright, I need a second bucket because of course I only had one so far for climbing and falling down large distances. So yeah, we need a second water bucket, get an infinite water source going up there, and then we can get started with digging out our little pond, and let's see what it looks like. I did fish up that lily pad a while back in the cave when I was struggling for food, so I'm very curious what it'll look like with a little lily pad and maybe some other stuff going around. I'm very optimistic about this. Getting the shape right is so difficult because it's so small, and you don't want it looking too weird. I tried my best. Let me know if you guys think the pond is cool or not. I thought it turned out okay, but yeah, you guys haven't seen the final product yet, of course, so let's keep going. Alright, so the pond is filled, but we clearly need a bit more of a wow factor, so I thought, why not use these leaves again? Show how lush it's making the area, the added water. Add nice little things here and there. There we go. Nice little bushes over the fences. Almost like the fences are being taken over by these vines. I think that's such a cool look, in addition to the vines on the house, because it kind of shows where is it coming from or where did it sprout toward. It feels very natural. I also like this little gate here, just to give the illusion of needing that gate, even though you can just walk through it. Make little posts. Add a few torches on it because we want it to be lit up at night, of course. You don't want mobs wandering inside. We were running a little bit low on coal, but you know what? It's worth it to light this area up because a rogue creeper could definitely end this run, and I don't think anyone wants that at this point, especially since we're progressing so nicely now. I don't want to give up this world yet. Alright, so now we add some liveliness to the pond, some nice little kelp and the little lily pad. I think it looks much nicer now, especially with the subtle animation that's in it. It just looks so cute, guys. I love this little pond. I mean, who doesn't like building little ponds? Let's be real. Also, I thought it would be neat to have just a little water feature tucked away in that bush over there, and now it looks perfect. Alright, so I'm terraforming a little bit to the side of the house to make a little farm area here. I think it's gonna look great, and we really do need the wheat if we want to keep the leather going, and the steak. Steak is an excellent food source, of course. Here I'm just quickly doing some simple measurements, looking where the middle of the building is, and going from there. Some nice little counting you can see here. If you guys wonder how I do my builds pretty precise, this is how, guys. Take your time to count things out. It's not embarrassing at all. Everyone should do it, because that way you get very nice looking, aesthetically pleasing builds. Alright, so now I'm ready to till this farmland. I'm doing the maximum range you can do. If you didn't know, from a water source block you can go 4 out diagonally and also horizontally and vertically. And yeah, it's basically this area. I believe it's enough for a stack and 16 seeds. So 80 blocks worth. Yeah, so it's very nice that you can get that much out of just a single water source block, because honestly I don't really like having a ton of water source blocks on my farm. Here I'm trying to make a little bit of a rough path. Don't mind me. I'm gonna skip ahead to the completed look. Alright, so I got this idea for a bit of a more sturdy looking fence. As you can see, it fits perfectly. I was so happy that this fence worked so well. Also, an easy way to quickly light up the area, nicely placing it in the middle of those 3 fences. I'm very happy how it turned out. Quickly gathered all of my seeds and filled up the whole farm. Just like at the pond, I was inspired to add a few bushes overtaking the fences. I'm not really protecting it from much other than invisible enemies, I guess. Mobs won't be spawning nearby due to the torches, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Just adding a few more vines to the house because I felt like that spot was a bit bald. But yeah, it looks nice. Now I'm improving the path, or hopefully improving it a little bit by adding a bunch of gravel into it and making it look a little more worn. I know I could have crafted another shovel, okay? I was just really lazy. I don't know why I did all of this by hand. I guess it was very soothing at the time. It was nighttime, I don't know why. Unfortunately, right after finishing the garden, we have some unwanted guests here. 2 zombies and a skeleton. No thank you. Luckily, the wolf in the background there is already helping me out. And we take him out together with ease. Yes, thank you, Pupper. After farming a bunch of sugarcane and way more cows, we finally reach our goals, which is 135 paper and 45 leather, which is enough for 15 bookcases, or just enough to create the level 30 enchanting table. I was so happy crafting these books because finally I'd be able to install the enchanting table in the base, and hopefully we'd get a good enchant on the diamond pickaxe, because then we can finally start mining tons of diamonds, and with tons of diamonds comes tons of armor, and with tons of armor comes tons of protection. So I was very excited to see where this was going, and yeah, let's see what we'll get. Alright, with the enchanting table crafted, we can head inside don't mind this very ugly thing I built. Don't look at it, guys. Alright, that was literally never there. I have no idea what you're talking about, and don't say anything about it in the comments, thanks guys. Anyway, here we go. Boom, level 30, enchanting. Oh god, yes, I'm so excited to see what we'll get. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem that great, but you know, we'll just try something out. First, we need a grindstone though. Okay, so I had a few extra levels, so I'm gonna try and see if fortune appears, and if not, we'll just risk it for a biscuit and see what we get. Alright, so nothing. What else is there? Nothing good. Okay, so let's try again, and I think this time we might have a... let's do it! Oh, yes! Yes! Seriously, that was so... I was so happy when that appeared. Look at me jump around. This is nearly so good. Yes! This is the best we could have hoped for. Otherwise, you guys should have watched a ton of boring quartz mining montages. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I feel like we made a ton of progress. Look at that base. Look at our new gear. I'm so excited to get a much better gear next episode. That's what I'm going to be focusing on. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.